So we got a recent question in on IndustrialSage.com from Ankit Singh. Hopefully I pronounced it right. I apologize if I didn't do that. But his question was, I'm trying to target a young audience that's very technical. Where should I start digitally? We're going to answer that for you on this episode.
Welcome to Industrial Sage, a free video podcast series all about digital marketing for industrial manufacturers. Hear interviews with your peers and find out how they're solving the same challenges that you might be facing in your own field. Coming to you from the Optimum Production Studio in Atlanta, Georgia, this is Industrial Sage.
All right, so Ankit, hopefully, again, I hope I pronounced your name right. I apologize if I didn't do that. So your question, it's an important one. Where should you start? Well, there's a couple things. The first thing that I would ask myself if I were in your shoes, what I would do is, let's really do some research and try to find out, like, who are these people, and let's see, where they are. So let's, obviously, if they've got a, technical background you're trying to go after, obviously, I'm assuming it's some sort of engineering type. Let's find out, the specific type of engineering or that specific niche or niche, depending on how you pronounce it, where they're at, and I would do research there. And I would also try to find out, digitally from like what kind of social properties are they on, because that is going to fuel it. So if they're big on Pinterest or they're big on Twitter, or they're big on LinkedIn or wherever that is, that needs to be the first thing. Figure that out. Now, the reality of it is that probably it's not as finite as you think it might be. There's going to be some testing involved. So what I would do is I would set up, I would build some campaign audiences. I would start in Facebook. I would look at LinkedIn, and just try to kind of see where you're getting the best results from and try to like dial that in. The other piece is what I would do is I would look at maybe trade associations or magazine type groups. So, again, wherever that audience person is, whatever niche there is, there's a lot of these directories and different types of websites and magazine companies that have advertisements there. I wouldn't do any print, but I would do maybe some type of digital stuff. It could be a digital webinar that you're targeting a specific segment. Talk with them because a lot of times they have a lot of data, email lists, that sort of thing where they can help there. Now, the big thing is making sure you're providing a lot of value when you do that. It can't be something like, hey, I want to reach you to come sell to you. It needs value, but that honestly is the same thing across the board. The other thing that I would make sure that I would do is make sure that your messaging, so your copy, the copy that you're writing fits your audience, and any imagery that you're using fits your audience. So in other words, if you're targeting, young engineers, for example, don't have footage of, older engineers. Like, I'm not trying to be discriminatory. You need to make stuff that is going to really resonate with them. So both in the copy, like the language, the way they may speak, and making sure that the images, so whether that's video or any other type of photography, really goes after, really matches and identifies with them. So those are kind of the areas that would start, with not knowing a ton of information. That's kind of where I would start at, and then we can go from there. Some other slick campaigns and other things you might be able to look at. Actually, one other one, Terminus, actually, they're going to be coming on Industrial Sage here in a few weeks. They've got a really great tool where you can, it's specifically for B2B, you can do programmatic video and targeted banner ads, and you can really target specific companies and specific titles or roles within an organization that you want to get in front of. It's kind of like Google AdWords a little bit, except you say, I want to get in front of the VP of operations, procurement, plant manager, whatever, and and have all the different types of the different names of the companies in there. So that's another avenue you could look at. It depends on your audience size. If it's large, then that may work better. If it's small, that might not. And lastly, one more thing is I actually look at local trade associations or even regional or national associations that fit within, again, that niche. There could be lists, there could be directories there could be just ways of being able to get in front of them, getting involved with them on a digital side, pairing a webinar or providing some sort of education around there. So anyways, I hope that answers your question, and thanks for listening and watching Industrial Sage and submitting this in here. If anybody else who's listening has questions, love us for us to answer on a video, we'd love to do that. You can reach out to industrialsage.com/questions. We're answering your questions. And listen, if you're listening on iTunes, we would love for you to give us a rating. If you're looking at our content on social media, listen, comment, like, share. We love all that stuff. That'd be awesome. So again, thanks for watching or listening on this episode of Industrial Sage. I'm Danny, and until next time, well, we're just going to keep this thing rocking. So I'll see you next time. Hey, we'd love for you to be part of a survey that we're doing with IndustrialSage. What we're doing is we are reaching out to all the manufacturing and industrial companies in our database and around, looking to build our insights. We'd love for you to take this quick survey. It's a couple questions. What we're trying to do is figuring out, what are you guys thinking and planning for 2019? So the more contributors that we have to putting in their information, the better the results that we can have. We'd love for you to take a part of it. It's just going to take a few minutes of your time, and then we'll be able to release this great report for you in the next few months that'll help in your planning for 2019. So go ahead and fill that out. Just take a few minutes, and you're going to get something that's highly valuable in just a few months.